So let me start this video with a quote from Devon Larratt's recent video. Every day above ground is a blessing, and while it is heroic to sacrifice, I wish Denis a long and healthy life. Now this may seem as if Devon is being super respectful and super appreciative of Denis Cyplenkov's abilities on the arm wrestling table. But Devon has started his trash talks once again. He knows that Denis doesn't like his health issues from 2019 being discussed on TV. And yet Devon does that again and again. So this time also in his recent video that was titled Denis Cyplenkov November 11th, Devon basically talked about how Denis Cyplenkov almost died trying to beat him. So the trash talks have started. And who actually created this beef? We saw an interesting comment on the recent Engin Terzi video. I'm going to read it in about a couple of minutes from now. Devon said, and I quote once again, Denis taught me so much about sacrifice and selflessness. So what could be the selflessness, or what did Denis teach Devon in the 2018 match? There could be a few things. First of all, Devon needs to take training more seriously. It could be change in training method. It could be increasing the frequency and intensity of the workouts. It could be detaching yourself from the family, sacrificing everything for the preparation of the event, and it could be increasing the PED dosage. It can be all of them, and looks like Devon learned all of these things from Denis Cyplenkov. Denis fights for victory on the arm wrestling table for his family, for his countrymen, and his flag. I have a ton of respect for Denis. Once again, being super respectful, but while still discussing some things that Denis may not want Devon to discuss. We know the story of Denis Cyplenkov. We know what happened after the match. We know the sacrifice and what it cost him. So to me, it partially seemed as if Devon was indicating that Denis had to up his dose in a significant amount to beat Devon Larratt in that 2018 match. To me, Denis always looked the same, but the way Devon was talking about this match, it looked like Devon was suggesting that Denis may have upped the dosage, or he did something special to beat Devon Larratt. So this was basically what Devon said to Denis Cyplenkov. And by the way, Denis had not watched the previous video, the screen recording from Engin Terzi, where Devon was furious about Denis. And it is a good thing, or probably a bad thing, because Baban may have translated some things to Devon. And talking about translation, let's read a comment from that video. As a fluent English and Russian speaker, I would like to say Baban often translates poorly or does an entirely incorrect translation to Denis. He also adds his own spin to the translations for Denis. I'll add one more thing to that. Sometimes he translates his own feelings to Denis, and sometimes he translates his own feelings back from Denis. So Denis may be saying something, and if Baban doesn't like those things, he's not the things that Denis is saying, but the things that are being discussed, then he's going to add his own feelings to that. So the first time I saw that, it was during the translation with Engin Terzi, when Denis was sitting to Baban's right and Morozov was on his left, and I was like, the man didn't even translate what Engin said to Denis, and he himself started giving his opinions that Denis doesn't like that, Denis wants that. Okay, you can be good friends, so you may know without even hearing what the other guy is about to say, but still there can be some mistakes made. And at that time I made a video about that. I said that that's a very rare situation. Well, not so rare in today's world, but it is still rare that somebody is getting offended for someone else. There was something that Baban didn't like, and he got offended, saying that this is disrespectful towards Denis. Bro, at least ask Denis if he feels disrespected or not. Don't get offended on his behalf. So after that, this person said this is at least partially the reason the beef has escalated. So is Baban the one who started this beef? I've said it multiple times, and somehow the translators don't listen to me, and I think they don't have to listen to me, because when we are asking these people to translate, they are not getting paid anything on most of the channels. So that is the reason why they don't have that incentive. I've said it multiple times, going to say it again. No matter how talented you are, it is impossible to translate accurately without preparing notes live. So if Dennis is saying you have to prepare notes, if somebody is asking a question, you have to prepare notes, and you look at those notes and then you translate. That's the only way to translate during these live interviews, or even during these offline interviews as well. That's the only way. But there is no incentive, so you cannot really blame anyone for not doing that. And Babkan to me seems like a guy like who has done some shit. Like the way he talks with lots of arrogance and ego, and it looks like he's like either a politician or a mafia boss or a self-made multi-millionaire. Something he has done or achieved in his life. And I'm not talking about the public communication with him, even private communication with him, even in the DMs. The kind of ego that person has is he better have achieved something really big in his life in the name of promoting the athletes, building his own brand. Okay, let's not talk about these things too much. But you guys, the Russian guys, you guys tell me, how is the translation that Babkan is doing for Morozov, for Denis Cyplenkov, for all of them? Is he doing a justice by doing everything for them, from translations to fixing matches to negotiating everything, to even telling them which interviews can they attend and which they cannot attend? It's kind of weird situation. Devon Larratt versus Denis Cyplenkov. Trash talks have started. Denis better start watching those videos themselves. YouTube has auto translation feature. Somebody show this video to Denis. This may also be translated into Russian, and I think it can be a better translation because it is live. Thanks for watching. Like the video and subscribe.